What are your thoughts on no estimates? I've been down this path um, of experimenting with, do we not do any estimates at all? I even proposed it to a team that we stop story pointing stories. This was a very mature team, one of the best teams I've ever built. Super proud of that group. They just crushed everything that got put in front of them. And as we went through refinement sessions and planning sessions, I started to question the value of the story points. So I forget what the meeting was, but I asked them, I said, what do you guys think about stopping the use of story points? Because I'm starting to question the value that they deliver in our planning. And I'm just not sure we're getting the bang for the buck. So number one, they all fell out of their chairs because they were shocked because they never thought I would ask something like that, because I've always been a huge proponent of story pointing and how important it was and being really engaged and all those things. The team, they were very mature. They contemplated it. They discussed it. We had a long discussion. In the end, what they came back with was they really valued the stress is the word I'm going to use, but it's not really stressful. The stress of having to throw a number on a story to appear and then having to be in a dialogue about it. Like, okay, if I think this is an 8, I got to be prepared to explain to my peers why I think it's an 8 versus a 3. So they found that it really created a healthy dialogue for them and for each other to ensure that they really understood the stories before they started working on it. So as the most mature team I've ever been a part of, they completely could have said, hey, we're going to create that dialogue ourselves. But they viewed the estimating, the story pointing, as the catalyst for really discovering what the story was. So to me, estimates are a tool that are used to generate dialogue. If it's done well, it generates real, healthy, valuable dialogue that the team uses to be more confident that, hey, when we put this thing in the sprint, we're going to be able to deliver on it because we actually know what the hell we're doing. If people throw numbers in story pointing and planning poker, and there is no healthy dialogue, then I bet your sprint planning, your sprint execution isn't as good as it could be. I bet you get frustrated with it often. I bet your sprints are bumpier than you would like. But when you have a team that really engages in that healthy discussion about what a story is or isn't, then your sprints will go much better. And those estimates, that estimation process, was the catalyst for that dialogue for us. So in the end, the team decided to keep story pointing because they saw the value that it generated, not directly, but indirectly, in that they believed it helped them execute more effectively on their sprints because they were more confident in every piece of work that they were pulling into the sprint once it was ready for that sprint. So no estimates is one of those things that to me sounds cool, but in the end, I think if you really treat an estimate as it is, as a tool for generating healthy dialogue, healthy conversation about the work, as opposed to a life or death commitment, which is how it unfortunately gets used against a lot of people. If it can be used in the right way, estimates are good. The problem isn't estimates. The problem is how it's used against people. So the no estimates movement can often be used as a battle axe against the bad practices that are out there. When in reality, what I believe the right answer is to fix the bad practices. So that's my view on the no estimates world. Brian Ripley, huge proponent of no estimates, good fan of mine. Vasco Duarte, I believe that's how you say his last name, is a part of the podcast network that I started. So we have some people in my inner circle of coaches and content creators that I appreciate and trust, that believe very differently than I do, but that's okay. It's about finding what's right for you and your organization.